Hard Conversations. Hard Conversations, Harvey Tapport.
This trip and fall was on purpose. And a Toastmaster who won the World Championship of Public Speaking a few years ago, in his winning speech, he had a trip and fall that was on purpose. In my future, I'm going to have a lot more trips and falls. But they won't be on purpose. You see, last year, I discovered I inherited a disease called Charcot-Marie tooth. Now, some of you are thinking, Charcot? Tooth disease? It's not tooth disease. Charcot-Marie tooth is simply a name after French and English doctors that identified it a long time ago. 1 in 2,500 people have it. It's equally spread amongst race, gender, and continents. And it is dubbed the world's most common, unheard of disease. By a show of hands, who here are familiar with Charcot-Marie tooth? My wife. Not very many. We all have 19,000 genes, and one of my genes is a mutant. And when I heard of that, I thought, cool, maybe I could be like the Marvel comic character Wolverine. He is a mutant with amazing healing powers and claws coming out of his hands. I wish I had those self-healing powers, because for my disease, there is no cure and no treatment. And for my hands, they could eventually curl up like a claw, and so could my feet, which is why I'm tripping more and dropping things, but at least now I know why. When you know why something happened, it's better. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
You might have detected I said I inherited this, which means each one of my 4 sons had a 50% chance of inheriting it from me. Should I tell them? That would be the hardest conversation of my life. What was your hardest conversation of your life? Did you have something you needed to tell someone? Did you do it? Holding back any family secrets? I know the previous hardest conversation was when I had to tell my sons about the birds and the bees. Oh, I know some of you are thinking, oh, the birds and the bees, we talk openly about that. Not me. I grew up in a farm, and every adolescent boy learned about the birds and the bees basically the same way. The wife would say to the husband, or in my case, my mom said to my dad, "Husband, it's time to tell your son about the birds and the bees." Huh? Oh, all right then. Come on, son. Son, you know what the bull does with the cows, right? You're good. Oh, and if you have any questions, you just ask your mother. Now, I knew I had to do better than that. And I also knew the day would come when my wife would say, "Husband, it's time to tell your son about the birds and the bees." So what did I say? Huh? Oh, all right then. Come on, son. But I was prepared. I gave him a book titled "Where Did It Come From" by Peter Maley. It had pictures, easy to understand words, simple diagrams, and I said, "Here, read this. And if you have any questions, you just ask your mother." I guess I inherited a few things from my dad. I used to think that was the hardest conversation in my life, but that was pale in comparison when I made a decision to tell each one of my sons they had a coin flip chance of inheriting the disease I had. On one hand, it didn't go very well. Experts say a proven diagnosis means life insurance and disability insurance ramifications compounded with future decisions whether to procreate. My sons were too young to understand all of that. But on the other hand, the conversation went really well. They know I'm observing if things start changing in them. They won't have to go through years of medical tests and pills trying to find out what's going on. If they have it, I will prepare them for their future trips and falls. So why am I sharing this with you? Do I want you to feel sorry for me? No. There are oodles of people with bigger challenges than me. But I have a disease that is dubbed the world's most common unheard of disease. I don't want that anymore. I want people to know about it. But the biggest reason I'm sharing this with you, the hardest conversation of my life was telling my 4 sons I had a disease and they might too. But they are now aware of it. They know where they stand. There is no family secret. Did any of you learn family secrets too late? Maybe you have a hard conversation you want to tell someone and you're wondering, should you do it or not? I strongly suggest make the decision to do it. The relief that comes from saying it and the knowledge gained by the other person could make it from the hardest conversation to one of your better conversations. Mr. Toastmaster.